In this video, we'll talk about how to find resources for your Accounting 405 research paper assignment. I'm Dawn Absalom. I'm the Director of Library Services and your librarian for accounting. You can find me by Googling Dawn Salve Library. So today what we're going to work on is thinking about a research strategy for your research paper assignment. Then we're going to look at search tools that will be the best or most likely to find the information you need, and we're going to practice using those tools. So the first step in crafting a research strategy is to think about what information you need. And that means you should look really closely at the assignment that your professor gave you. So directly from your assignment, your professor wants you to identify an area of accounting controversy, and then to look at the arguments for and against that controversy, and then to analyze them and reach a conclusion about them. So the second step, after you've identified the information you need, is to figure out what types of information that would be. So you're probably going to want the standard associated with your accounting topic, and then probably some overview information so you can get a big picture about your topic, and then you'll move on to finding analysis after you have that big picture. So places you'll go, so tools. So you're going to definitely want to look at the FASB website, and then we're going to be looking at some library reference sources and library databases where you're going to find your analysis. These are the search tools we'll use: EBSCO, our Gale ebooks, Nexis Uni, and the Wall Street Journal. So with that, let's hop on over to the library homepage. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look for some overview information. So I'm going to go to databases A to Z, and we're going to go to G for Gale. And we're going to scroll down to Gale ebooks. And let's just say we're investigating stock-based compensation, for example. Now, sometimes some tools like the hyphen and some don't. So let's see what happens if we take that out. That totally worked. So here in the Encyclopedia of Management, there's an article on executive compensation. And even though that doesn't have our words in the title, we're going to click on it. We can see there's also a bunch of other information. This first article looks most promising, so I'm going to give it a whirl. Now, I see compensation highlighted, but I want to see all the places that stock is highlighted. So I'm going to try Control, or if you have a Mac, Option F, and we'll try stock. And we see that there's 16 incidences of that word. And if you hit the enter button, it'll take you down through all of them. And you can see that stock options is another way of referring to stock-based compensation. And then you can see that there's some of the controversies listed out here. So this can give you a lot of information, like a nice big overview. Let's go back to the library homepage. Now, the next place we're going to try is our library article search. So we got our overview, and now we're going to try stock-based compensation. This is searching our EBSCOhost databases, and it's searching all of them. Now, we have 1,000 results, and this first one looks like it could be useful, but I think what we might do is, if we really want to focus it to what accountants think of stock-based compensation, I'm going to show you a little library trick. We're going to type account. We're going to put this little asterisk as a wild card, and that'll be accountant, accounting, anything that comes after that T will work. And then we're going to hit this little down arrow, and I'm going to choose source. So what this does is it searches only journals that have the word account, accounting, accountant in it. And that will limit it somewhat. So now instead of 1,000, we have 292. So this should give you a much better idea of the accounting view of stock-based compensation. So, and if you want any of these, this one, for example, if you clicked on it, it would do a search in all of our databases to see if we had it. If we didn't, you get this page, and you can easily request it via interlibrary loan by clicking on that button, entering your first name, last name, and email password. However, if you see them that have the PDF, then you can just open it right up. Let's go back out and we'll do another database search. Database is A to Z and N for Nexis Uni. And we're going to scroll down to Nexis Uni, and this is another tool which is likely to have information about stock-based compensation. Now, the first thing we're going to do now is we are also going to tell it that we want only accounting journals. And right here, Nexis Uni works a little different than EBSCO. We can just click on these and just like add all the journals that we want to look in. And, you know, these 3 should be enough. And we're going to do our, see how it added it to the filter. We're going to do our stock, and we're going to try our hyphen in there and see what happens. If it works, it works. And now we're getting 57 results. And if we like it, we just click on that title and we can read it, or we can email it to ourselves, or whatever we want. We can also go ahead and get a citation if we want. And you can email it to yourself by clicking on that button or print it. Now, the last one that we're going to look at is, again, library and databases A to Z. And then we're going to go to W for Wall Street Journal. And the Wall Street Journal is the journal for economics, and it remembered that I already tried this search out. So I'm going to go ahead and hit search. I already typed it in there. Now I see that I have 1,600 results. That's a little much. We don't need that many. We also don't necessarily need going back to 1984. We can see here that these mentions of stock-based compensation really shot up in this time period, 2010 to 2019. So we're going to update that date range, and that halved our results. And here you can get an idea of the kinds of like little controversies that are going on related to stock-based compensation. And if we really wanted to get into it, we could also add the term accounting, and that reduced our results even more. So these are all articles in this premier journal for business, Wall Street Journal, related to stock-based compensation and accounting. And if we want one of these, again, we just click on our title and we can choose to, we can get a PDF of it, we can cite it, we can email it. All of that is right there at your fingertips. And just so you know, all of this, a lot of this information is in your Canvas course shell, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. We have a research guide under library resources in your Canvas course shell. If you click on accounting, well, in the library homepage, and you click right here, you'll see that I've made a research guide for you, which kind of goes through what we talked about today, also with some little short videos that sort of rehash what we talked about today.